champions like, say, Cassiopeia would do well. Ziggs can do well. I mean, even TF can do well. Just any champion that can push back on her. I think Ziggs can actually harass her down too. I've had that matchup. Xerath can go even with her in terms of pushing, and maybe actually push her out of lane at 6. But it's really a skill matchup with Xerath versus Morgana. Oh, there's the Morgana.
Yeah, there we go.
Anyways, but,
first ban, no BS. We're just gonna get her right out. But real quick, just to finish up the Morgana thought, because I remember when I first started doing ranked, Morgana was a very high pick, and I was actually using Zillion mid against her and actually having quite a deal of success.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just get the bombs off before she can react.
Yeah.
So
basically, if you double bomb her, you're gonna be able to blow up her shield and do damage to her. So the exchange is always gonna be positive, as long as you have the mana to just sustain the double bomb that you're gonna do. And actually, even if you don't double bomb her, every time she shields, she's gonna burn mana.
Right.
And you're gonna bomb her, and it's still actually gonna do damage through her shield and hit her for a decent amount, unless you max out shield, which most Morganas actually do not do.
Yeah, usually you just get 1 point in shield because that's enough to protect you from all the CC and everything, really.
And if you think about it, the bomb's got 10 true damage too.
Yeah, it does. I keep forgetting about that too. If when you're playing Zillion and if you put a bomb on someone, that little countdown that happens, that's actually true damage happening. Just it's a nice little feature. I can't remember who was telling me the story about why they implemented that, though. I can't remember.
Oh, I know exactly why. Because what happened was, before they implemented that, you used to be able to have Zillion just walk up to a tower, throw a bomb, does not pull tower aggro, and just walk out. So he's able to push on you 24/7 and drop bombs on you. And really, he's getting no remorse from the tower. And so now with that ticking true damage, it's going to deal damage to you, even if you have like a shield on or whatnot. And it's going to pull tower aggro on you.
So first pick for V8 is actually going to be Dr. Mundo, who I'm expecting to see that in the jungle.
Yeah, definitely. Like Dr. Mundo is a very, very strong late game champion. Once he gets his health going and his resistance, he's just going to be very, very hard to kill. There's a few champions that does really well against him. That would be like, say, Warwick, because when a champion stack health, you can swipe him and you can heal back a very, very sizable amount. Say Mundo has 4,000 hit points, and you're a pretty tanky Warwick with a lot of CDR. You can walk up to Mundo, get your Q on him, heal like for 500 to 600 hit points, and you can walk back out. And it's actually a percentage of damage that you deal. So
yeah, percentage. Now I'm thinking way back years ago. Percentage damage does do damage in percentages, as we've heard in some LoL broadcasts in the past. So if you're bothered to buy like a Madrid's Blood Razor too, that also helps. Or even just to counteract Mundo's ultimate, you just throw Ignite on him.
Yeah.
Or even then some other healing effects like Tristana's shot does that as well. It reduces healing.
Shot. So really, you need Ignite for Mundo, and like I feel like Amumu does really well. I played a Amumu game today, and I just had the tears on his W, and Mundo is actually just melting standing next to me. Like that is also percentage damage.
So we were reviewing some other picks and bans here. Now Janna has been banned out, so she is the top support right now. So V8 actually going to be going with Leona. Graves going to be with her in the bot lane as well. And right now for Choppa, we got Maokai, we got Taric. So Maokai's going to be in the jungle, trying to find a partner for Taric here, possibly Ezreal. I've been seeing a little bit more of Ezreal lately, actually.
I definitely have been seeing a lot more Ezreal. It's because I think you see a lot more champions that are a lot tankier with slows, not necessarily lockdown. And so champions without lockdown, Ezreal is really, really good against. So, so that's probably one of the reasons why you see more Ezreal, especially with like Nunu bottom lane support. If someone's got a Nunu and you kind of run up, throw a snowball at you, his damage isn't really affected. He gets some from phase shift, he gets it from Mystic Shot, and I forgot what his W does, but it's just damage independent of attack speed, and that's really good. And in this case, he wants a jumper because if Leona jumps on somebody, that's going to be a lot of damage that's going to be taken. If Leona lands her Zenith Blade and Q on basically like any other AD that can't jump back, Graves is going to be able to go in and just blow him up instantly. So the thing with Ezreal is he can phase shift as the Zenith Blade's coming, and so he can get back and just actually pull Leona a little bit further back and create a little bit of distance that Graves can't follow up the damage right away.
So we have Galio and Yorick, last 2 picks for V8. Now I believe that Nocturne pick from Choppa was actually a random, because
Really?
I don't think I saw Jinte actually picking anyone on that.
I was gonna say they have Maokai already. I was a little curious. It was a little questionable why they would have Nocturne, because I was under the impression that Maokai's gonna be jungling, and when Nocturne was there, I was like, would he go top? But no, in hindsight, it's probably a random.
Yeah, like I'm thinking, with the Nasus pick, I'm not seeing. I think we may have a few champ switches.
Yeah.
After this is done, because I'm not sure if I can see a
Because
Nasus
there's
anywhere in this team.
Well, you can go AP Maokai, but in terms of damage, I don't know if Maokai can, output enough to be able to handle Dr. Mundo.
So I think we're actually going to we might be heading back to the lobby here. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
So Galio and Yorick are the last 2 picks for V8. And Maokai on his own anyway is still a very mana reliant jungler. I mean, if they get invaded, if Maokai loses his blue, and he's very predictable in the jungle too, almost always starts on Wraiths.
Yeah. He either starts at Wraith or Wolves. The reason you would start at Wraith is you're prone to getting counter jungle. If you kill that right away, the enemy can't take it. So if you just want to play safe, if you know you're going to get invaded, you either just stick as a group and just start either at Wolves, or you make sure everybody's at the Wraith.
Okay, that Nasus was actually a pick from Choppa. It was not wasn't a sub for anything. I think we might also have a Twisted Fate going in for that random.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh.
That Nocturne was a little questionable because you really don't want 2 junglers, and they had no AP. So,
Trieskimo. So I mean that Nasus is looking like. So I think we have TF Nasus were the last 2 picks for Choppa. So Maokai, Taric, Ezreal, TF, Nasus. So Ezreal is the AD. TF is going to be going mid AP. Nasus and Yorick top lane.
I think the whole idea between Nasus is you send him top. He has passive lifesteal, passive regen.
Yeah.
And to counter Yorick top, you need enough resist and lifesteal, spell steal to actually just tank all his poke. He has a lot of free pokes from his ghoul that's just going to chase you all day. And the moment those ghouls come at you, after like a second and a half, they're going to start dropping a lot of HP. Nasus can just hit his siphoning strike, one-shot the ghoul, and get some free siphon strikes. So
that does work.
I think that's the whole idea of having Nasus top. Whether it's going to work out, it's going to just... I feel like if he runes right and he gets the right item, he's going to be able to last against Yorick. And there's going to come a point where he's going to get a lot of Q stacks. So in terms of Nasus top, it's not really... it's going to be a farm fest. Nasus isn't going to really try and kill Yorick. Yorick's going to be able to just farm as hard as he wants, and he's going to push lanes. And Nasus really, his only push back is his Spirit Fire, actually. You throw down the AoE and push lanes back. But I feel with Nasus's masteries, or not masteries, summer spells, and just the matchup, his number 1 goal this game is to just farm as many Siphoning Strike and just get as much farm as he can. He wants to be a really, really big tank, and his damage is going to be 100% reliant on CDR and his Siphoning Strike. So if he gets enough Siphoning Strike charges, gets enough CDR, he's actually going to be able to put out a lot of damage.
So we're looking at Igata's rune page here. He's missing a Quintessence. I think he forgot one. But magic resist armor and just pure physical damage on the Nasus in top lane. So I had no idea. I never even bothered to think about it, that Nasus's Q, it actually does get damage off of the ghouls from Yorick?
Yes, it does.
Wow.
So actually,
never thought of that.
Missing that Quint's going to hurt him. I feel kind of bad. I feel a little bit bad for him.
Wow. I had no idea that worked, because we were actually thinking, we actually had a discussion in the office yesterday, just ways to counter Yorick. And we thought, some characters with shields may perform pretty well because a lot of people have been talking about Yorick. He's just not a fun champion to lane against.
Yeah.
But Nasus never came up in discussion. I'm excited to see how it's going to work here. I want to see how big his Q
I
can
think
get.
in terms of countering Yorick, you're not going to be able to stop him from farming.
Yeah.
What Nasus is going to do is he's just going to fight and try to farm through the harass. It's going to come to a point where if his siphoning strike gets strong enough, he can hit Q, smack a creep, heal 100 hit point. So when he gets to that point, those ghouls are going to be meaningless against him. So what he needs is a lot of cooldown reduction, so he can keep on siphoning strike, and he's going to need a lot of mana or mana regen. So he's going to have the mana pool to out sustain, and it's going to be, all right, are you going to run out mana first from casting all those ghouls on me, or I'm going to run out of mana just siphoning strike your ghouls for stacks and health?
Well, that and also one of the core items on Nasus top lane is a Philo Stone. So we could get the Kindle Gem, work towards the Shirelias, you can get your cooldown reduction right there.
Mm-hmm.
And
definitely, Nasus has a lot of option for a region. You see a lot of Nasus just going a lot of GP5s, like Philo, Heart of Gold.
Yeah.
Some actually like rush Glacial Shroud, so they get that CDR, that armor, so they can keep on getting stacks. It also gives you mana too. And eventually you're going to get that Triforce in there. So Sheen is a component, and you get some mana from that too. So in terms of mana management, I feel like Nasus should be able to hold out.
Now, usually when you play Nasus top lane, usually just 1 point in the queue will get you where you need to go. The queue is there mostly to farm itself. You don't usually level it up that quickly. But in order to ensure the kills on the ghouls, do you think we might actually be seeing that maybe like a level 2 or level 3 queue earlier on in the game than you usually would?
Depending on how the lane is going, if it's getting pushed really hard and he needs to push back, then he's going to have to add more points into Spirit Fire to wave clear faster, so the creeps doesn't stay on his tower. He also can farm on top of tower. He can have the creeps push the tower. With all the flat damage you see on Nasus, it's almost like he's expecting to just farm under tower, because with all that flat damage that he's gotten in his rune, he should be able to last hit between the tower and the creeps. You let the tower hit it twice on the melee, and then you smack it once. And with the flat damage, you don't really even need the siphoning strike to last hit under tower. And the one that's really hard, you can right-click Siphon Strike for attack reset. So I feel like Nasus, he's runing. So 1, he can sustain it against Yorick. 2, so he can farm under tower. So you're definitely going to see a lot of pressure on Nasus up top.
And I'm also looking at these summoner spells here from V8. We are missing 2 flashes. Leona went Exhaust Heal. Mundo went Exhaust Smite.
Generally, junglers don't really need flash, especially really, really tanky junglers. You want flash on champions that dies rather quickly, so they can get out and reposition and do damage again.
Yeah.
And Mundo is just, you kind of run in, you hit W, it reduces CC, and he's probably 21 defense, so he gets 10% CC reduction too. So in terms of getting flash to get out, he doesn't really need to. He can ult for the movement speed, he can hit W, so he doesn't get CC'd as hard. And really, if he gets Merc Treads too, that CDC reduction is going to be huge. And in terms of Leona, she doesn't need flash to get in position or get out. She can set up basically really, really good team fights just with her ultimate, and that doesn't require flash for positioning. And when she's in there, she's relatively tanky with her W on. So I generally do not run flash on Leona. I feel like it's a waste of a spell.
V8 running into his bush. Leona getting a little bit too overzealous, and right now getting it yellow carded by Jintan. She will be ignited and CC'd down. Will she be able to get away? She does have the ignite on her. 61 health.
Oh
the
god,
yellow card
he threw
just
it on the
misses.
wrong person.
Takashi X takes the hit for the team.
I felt like
Wow.
Choppa was too afraid. They got the jump. They didn't commit. It was okay for them to burn summer spells to kill Leona, because if you think about it, right, they're expecting Leona to flash, but they didn't really look at her summer spell. It's like, oh, Leona doesn't have flash. At least make her burn her heal, make her burn her exhaust. But we do have map pack advantage. As far as they knew, the entire V8 team was behind her, assisting her. So
Right.
we knew that there's only 2 or 3 people that was able to assist. So it It was actually a free kill for Choppa, but just not enough information to know how safe it is to pursue that kill.
And it's usually safe in any game to assume that Maokai is going to be starting Wraiths, and they knew that, and V8 actually got a ward right there in that side bush. So when Maokai does decide to come back around, they will know. We'll see if the Takashi X decides to get a little overzealous and make the jump in. And actually, Muffin Cutie is actually running point.
They're actually running Graves top because
yeah,
Range Champion is just really good against Nasus, because what Afromu is going to be able to do is just completely zone out Nasus and get the farm in.
Excellent. Getting the raids, but I think V8 was a little bit indecisive there on whether or not they wanted to engage, but now he's moving up towards red. He's actually going to go over to a small golem, so V8's just going to get in this bush and get ready for an attempted gank. When he comes back around, they realize that he's not going for it, and I think this might be a wrong move here from V8. They're just kind of forcing Maokai to get out of the jungle and taking his stuff. I think if they just waited to get to until he got to the red, they could have gotten a convincing kill, but now we're getting a little bit hairy here. So now V8 is attempting to steal the red. Excellent is here, knows what's up.
There's going to be 4 people, so
and Jinte,
if they tank red too, whoever smites his red is going to have an advantage.
And
Maokai's definitely got the
did not get it.
advantage on that,
Maokai getting exhausted right now. Unstoppable X may not be able to get away. Muffin Cutie, Takashi X keeping everyone at bay. Heal goes down from Muffin, but who will die first? Unstoppable X a little bit too far out. And Afromu does get the first blood onto Maokai. Unstoppable X will be able to get away, but Muffin Cutie does not. Cannot get away either. Takashi X now being chased down and smacked from Patoy. Oh, wow. Jinte now trying to get away. Mundo falls. Everyone is dying. Afromu will not be able to get that last hit on Jinte.
That was actually a pretty even exchange in terms of like total exchange. Wow. I think V8 definitely came out with like a slight advantage if you just look at the gold count.
Yeah.
And since top did die in lanes pushing, Graves is going to be able to pick up like 5-6 CS before the lanes get back, so they're going to be denied just a little bit of farm. Graves isn't pushing as hard as he needs to deny, so actually I don't think they're going to miss out on anything.
That was one hell of a fight so early on too. V8 though did get the first blood, so they have a little bit of a goal advantage there from that, and from everyone leaving lanes, V8 has also managed to farm up a good 500 gold lead as well in the meantime.
Like, one thing about that fight is this, okay? They did burn summer spells on Leona early to try and pick up that kill, so I wasn't sure if all of it was up by the time that fight happened. So I felt like Choppa had the absolute advantage in that fight just because Mundo was so low. Had they been able to just pick him off right away and just kill him, because he was able to just throw off a lot of cleavers and get a lot of CC in and do a lot of damage. Especially because he tanked red buff and Maokai stole it anyways. I felt like that fight was just so much in Choppa's favor, but it just didn't end out that way.
I think they made, yes, the ward in the lane has, they did get spotted earlier on. Nice ward in the bush from Choppa, because they're aware that V8 is being incredibly aggressive early on, so they want to try and subdue them just a little bit, just to have a little bit more map awareness, so they know when to back off. But V8 here trying to get back into the jungle to screw around, but that ward, they do have the vision, they do know they're around. Patoy now coming down.
That's a lot of aggression up top.
It is,
especially because V8 sent their AD support up top to just try and shut down Nasus, because I'm thinking V8 kind of anticipated the Nasus versus Yorick matchup, and they sent Graves up top because as Nasus, in order to farm Siphoning Strike, he needs to be able to walk up to the creep and smack in the face to get those charges up. And Graves naturally having a lot of like spell cast, which isn't affected by Wither, and that range on Nasus, he's not going to be able to just walk up and hit and return any damage to Graves. So it was a really good idea by V8 to zone them out that way. And now when they sent Yorick, Nasus down to Yorick, Yorick's got quite a bit of levels on him, so I don't think Nasus can actually sustain bottom long enough to be effective anymore.
Yeah, Nasus isn't, he's not doing fantastic farming up that Q, but actually we got the gate from TF Gente coming in, trying to get the kill on Aframu. He does cleanse away, but Muffin Cutie is now in the back getting ignited down, and Patoy and Mashvi should be able to pursue the ignite, finishes the job, but Aframu is here with Tree Eskimo now, trying to see if they can't finish Mashmi, but the stun from Tarek will allow them to get away. Wow. That was a nice quick kill. I enjoyed that.
Kill. One thing you gotta watch out for is this TF. He's got a lot of mobility. So one thing is if you're laning against a TF or you're playing against him, there's certain key locations where you need to have wards. So you can see TF walk out. So one of the locations would be
what do we got?
Right on the ramp, right outside Wraith. That way when TF is looking for a gank up top, he needs to close the distance so he can teleport up top. And another part would be right around the outside of purple side's blue buff. You kind of want to ward around there too. Like right around here.
Right around up here?
Yeah, you want to ward right around where the blue ping is. I think they're pinging so they can ward it. Because
they're psychic, man. They're listening in.
Yeah, because that's about the distance that TF needs to close before he can actually teleport to either lane. So if TF is going to gank, he's going to run in either of those two paths. And so you kind of can see him trail from lane, but it's better to know exactly when he's going to teleport so you can back out.
Oh, we got a little bit. We got just enough vision on Tree Eskimo. I knew he was coming. Just enough. Just a quick little peek. Gente going to be backing. Has the blue buff now, courtesy of Maokai. Patoy up alone on top lane. So Aframu is getting his farm on, 55 to 58. So he's actually keeping up with Ezreal. So they're pretty even. Let's see, let's take a look at Nasus's Q right now. 36 extra bonus damage.
So he's got about 18, 19 now. So he's definitely not farming as much as he needs to. Normally by about 8 minutes, you'd have about like 30 or 40 creep kills. So about like 50 to 60 actually in Siphon stack. So he's at half or less than half of what he should be.
So we can talk a little bit too about creep kills, but actually right now Mashmi is being stunned at the moment. Aframu out in front. Patoy trying to get as much damage as he can, and Mashmi now going back into pursuit. But let's take a look at the creep kills. Like, how many creep kills can you expect your average top laner or supposed top laner have in 9 minutes? Actually, wait, TF now coming in with the gate once again. Yell card going in on Muffin Cutie, but right now Galio's teleporting in, gets the taunt in on Patoy. He also falls, and now Gente has to make a full retreat. He gets exhausted. Will he be able to get away? Cleaver going down. Gente will not be able to get away.
That was actually a very, very good counter gank.
Yeah,
they anticipated
V8 turned it around. They did it.
They anticipated that TF wanted to gank top, so Mundo was ready for it. One thing is, teleport does take a while, and Muffin Cutie was a little bit too low, so she pretty much died instantly. Had Yorick been there just a slight bit earlier, he actually could have ulted Leona and probably pick up another kill.
Tree Eskimo had the vision on Excellent coming down, but we got the true shot coming down. Will not be hitting anyone with that, but Tree Eskimo may not be able to get away. His ghoul is up, and it just expires right as he dies.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate, but even with the vision of the ward, it was not enough notice for Tree Eskimo to get away.
Yorick is just winning against Nasus so much that he's able to exert a lot more aggression and just push him back to deny. And so when you do that, you're actually a lot further up. So when you get ganked, you have to travel a lot further to get back to safety. And I think he just reacted a little bit slower too. A really good job by Excellent. He saw that Yorick wasn't reacting. He just came up and slowed him, right-click him, and just did damage and timed the retreat before he actually twisted advance. Because one thing people do as Maokai is you see somebody and you want to gank them, you twisted advance right away. And you don't really save it for when you need to just snare them and immobilize them. Because if they're not running, there's no point in immobilizing them. So good play by X, and he saved this twisted advance until it's actually a really good time to use it to maximize the damage potential for his team.
And in the event you do use the twisted advance a little bit too early, if you do flash, if it's been targeted on you and you do flash away, it will follow, it will track. But right now, V8 did not see Excellent go into the bush. Muffin Cutie going down to negate once again back into the top lane. It looks like Muffin Cutie is going to be singled out here. Aframu trying to get away.
Wow.
Muffin Cutie once again ignited and cannot get away. They're just abusing top lane so badly right now.
Definitely, they are abusing top lane. They're not warding where they need to ward to have that early tell.
Afromu, why'd you go back in? Excellent's not worth it. You can't do it. No! The heal was still up from Patoy.
He thought that he can kill Maokai, but with the heal from Tarek, with the passive from Maokai, Maokai was able to gain about 300 hit point. And I think Tarek, as you said, with the heal from Tarek too, his Q and his summary heal, he was able to top off about 500 hit point. You know, without all those factors, it would have been a good play by Graves because he would have been able to pick up that kill even though he was going to die. He was able to stall them long enough where he can allow his team to get a free dragon.
Getting smacked quite a bit, but Tekashi X has burned pretty much everything. Waiting for those cooldowns to come back up to get those last few hits. Can we get it? Yes, we can. Stunned under the tower, though, but he will be able to get away, albeit a little bit hurt. So that is exactly what V8 needed. They needed to get that spree off of TF right now because he's been going a little bit crazy top lane. So that's a good a little bit extra gold into Tekashi X's pocket. It's not too bad for himself.
Like, one thing with V8 is they're not so mobile this game. They've just been spending a lot of time top. And they're not getting the ward where they would normally ward had they had standard lanes. So because they don't have standard lane, they don't have the Leona for ward control down in mid area. So it's allowing Choppa a lot of opportunities to just have TF teleport up top and get those free kills every time.
But even though there's been a lot of coverage up top from Choppa, the creeps are actually still pretty even for Graves and Ezreal. So it's kind of like they're getting the kills they need, but the gold isn't equalizing that much. It's not like they're really taking advantage of the situation, and they're also getting semi-even trades. Because the last time they were up there, they had a nice counter gank coming in from V8.
It's about even right now because V8 did get that dragon. The gold advantage is about 8, but dragon makes up 900 of it. And York did have a huge advantage on Nasus early on. So Nasus is quite behind, and that's why the gold count is actually so close. But you let that slide a couple more times, Choppa's gonna be able to just keep on picking off Muffin Cutie and is gonna put Choppa in the advantage eventually.
Yeah, Muffin Cutie has died 4 times already. We're 14 minutes in. Pretty much every single time, Jinte's there on time with the gate, with Destiny, and just comes in as he needs to. Yellow card, and it's a done deal. And he's actually doing quite a bit of damage to Tekashi X, despite Galio being pretty tanky magic-wise to begin with. And we got the needlessly large rod already on Jinte. That's amazing.
Definitely TF is going to be a problem. He's probably the most farmed on the team for Choppa. And I think Tekashi is just as farmed, if not a little bit more, actually. If you look at the kill count, 313 to 323. So Tekashi's slightly more farmed, but in terms of damage output, TF is going to be able to output a lot. In terms of late game, though, I don't know if TF is going to be able to handle Mundo, though, because with the Mundo, if the game is even early, like it is right now, it's just going to be so much more in his favor once they get to late game.
And now we actually do have vision on Excellent. He does have the oracles, did actually clear the ward out, so they know he's around, but they're just not going to press the issue. They've learned their lesson. They're going to be playing a little bit more defensively, stay by the tower, not really go out anywhere, and actually Muffin Cuties decided to back by a little bit, come on back to lane. And Excellent is actually just waiting in the bush now, top lane.
TF is actually looking for a gank top too.
Yeah.
He's been treading towards that middle choke between Baron and Wraith a couple of times before he actually took the Wraith. Just anticipating a gank or like an engage from V8, but they actually don't know that Muffin's back, so it's just really good to be prepared for that. So they're just camping top rush right now. They're definitely looking for a kill.
And Aftermoot gets a little bit too overzealous. That's to cleanse away a twisted advance and comes back to tower. He's already at half health, but already gonna dive this. He does flash away. Muffin Q's now back just in time, gets a stun on Mashby with an extra tower hit, and Tekashi X is now teleported in, gets the taunt in. Here comes DF. Mashby will actually get away with such low health, and Aftermoot does fall. The true shot coming in does not hit anyone.
That actually could have been a really good fight for V8.
Yeah.
You know, Takashi thought that he was gonna be able to hit the Ezreal when he ulted, I think, Tarek and or Maokai on the top side, but he was actually like a hair off on hitting Ezreal, so it actually didn't hit. Because that was a path that Ezreal had to go through to get out from the fight with Graves, and he's able to just walk out on the very, very small edge of the Galio ulti and not get hit. So, you know, if Galio had positioned just slightly, like, I'd say like about a millimeter or two lower on the map, he'd be able to pick up that Ezreal kill.
They've also been able to seal the deal if Tree Eskimo's teleport happened to be up as well. I mean, he could have just barreled right into the fight and could have actually taken everyone out with those ghouls. But it was down. He wasn't able to join the fray.
So what they're looking for is this dragon right now. Choppa knows that they gave up the first one, and if they're gonna have an advantage, they're gonna need to take the dragon. They're not gonna. They can't let V8 take the next one. So they are grouping up. They're clearing wards around dragon and just preparing for that big team fight that's about to happen. I am a little worried for Choppa though, because it's just in team fighting potential. Once V8 gets their cooldown off, they're gonna be a little bit stronger than Choppa, and they're actually prepared for this dragon too. So
Unstoppable actually getting a little bit too far out, does not belong in the enemy's jungle right now. Excellent, and I got a right there in that tri-bush. But it looks like we're actually going to be contesting blue first before we even get to the dragon. V8 Muffin Cutie and Takashi X are just going to come barrel right in and just muscle Choppa right out of that bush, and Unstoppable X will take the blue.
So in this 4v4 like skirmish right here, you know, I feel like, oh, is this a free dragon for V8? It feels like Choppa doesn't even want to contest this. The most they're going to do is they're just going to try and steal it.
Ward going down. They're baiting them to try clear out the ward before anything else happens. And I think we're looking for Excellent to get off the twisted advance he needs in order to make this engage happen, but actually V8's going to back off.
I feel like if V8 prepares this and fights it, they're actually stronger. Without both AD carries, just the tankiness and the damage from... Oh, Yorick back too. He has teleport, so
he does.
But they don't know that what's going on. So as far as he knows is, you know,
Dragon actually almost about to go down. Gate goes down. TF is about ready to come in. Flash ultimate from Galio. We're trying to get some kills while we can, but only 2 members of V8 here. Everyone else needs to catch up. Yorick now coming up in the rear. Muffin Cutie trying to get away. Excellent is very low. I think that's their next target right now. Muffin Cutie is actually about to fall. If he can get away, he will not be able to, but he is resurrected by the Yorick ult. Maokai does go down. Iga is actually alone. 4 members of V8 at the moment. Wow. So that was a 1 for 2.
It was a 1 for 2, but Choppa definitely came out in advantage because he got the dragon. The dragon's worth at least 2 kills. So
and it looks like this tower's going to be going down as well.
Yeah, Graves came down for the cleanup, but the fight had already ended. So Easy was able to get some free damage on the tower. I felt like if V8 was there a little bit earlier and just more prepared for that, they actually could have fought that. What needed to not happen was Yorick needed to actually teleport in. The reason why Yorick backed in the first place was he expected to be able to just teleport in and just start that fight off just as they're doing Dragon, but there's no vision on Dragon.
Yep.
Maokai was able to clear the ward and just...
I have no idea Tarek's going to be coming up, so Afromu's being a little bit opposition here. Here comes Patoy, but he's got no one else to back him up, so Afromu might just be able to plug away at this tower. Patoy trying to get some damage down while he can. But Muffin Cutie is not too far behind, but Afromu now taking the tower. You might want to get out of there, but actually no, the tower will go down, and Patoy just gets melted.
He just stuck around way too long. He's trying to defend the tower against...
But they might want to get out because Excellent and Mashme are actually not too far away. Muffin Cutie's still in the bush, but now presence is known. Afromu is trying to be poked out. He was trying to get away. It does flash.
Oh, wow.
But teleport coming in. It is Yorick. Tree Eskimo is now here. It is a 3v2. Choppa is now outnumbered.
It could be a 4v2 too because Gallo's coming up. TF wants to go up too, so He thinks is a 3v3 with an advantage, but he doesn't know if Galio's there or not.
Ult is almost up. Ult is now up, so TF can join whenever he wants to.
Oh, this could be bad for them. They need to back out or else they're going to die.
Tree Eskimo now trying to get away. That bush is warded, so they know where he's going to be. But TF is not going to press the issue. He's not going to gate in. He's going to save it.
He's too far. He needed to be about like about a sixth of the map closer if he was going to teleport onto Yorick. So by that time, Yorick had already back. So I felt like, by that time Yorick is already backing. So there's no way. It would have just been a waste of his ultimate.
Yeah, Destiny does not have the range that it used to. At one point, Destiny was actually a global ult. You can go anywhere on the map from anywhere. But not too far long ago, it was like a few months ago, the range was nerfed. We were trying to get rid of global ultimates. Like Pantheon was also nerfed around that same time.
It was a really good nerf because the thing is the moment you see, actually you can tell where TF is, and he can be in another place right away, and that just provided him too much utility, and map presence overall. And so with that, it's impossible to avoid a TF gank because he can always get in right next to you every time.
I want to check in with our Nasus real quick. Look at that Q, 183 plus. So he's we're almost hitting the 100 creep kill mark with the Q. That hurts. That hurts already. Level 4, so he did level it up a little bit. But I mean, still, that's a little bit less than I think he should be at normally.
He actually made quite a bit of a comeback for how low his CS was in the first 10 minutes. I think in the first 10 minutes he was at the 50-ish mark. So
Takashi
for the next
X, a little bit out of position. He's in the middle of everyone. Goes off. Not gonna be too much damage, but Unstoppable X is trying to make the best of a bad situation. Right now, Muffin Cutie's now getting caught out. But will we be able to get away with the kill from Gente? He does actually Destiny away from the fight. But now everyone is here to join the party. X1 is now trying to get away. Takashi X is very low, trying to plug off as much damage from a distance. When Unstoppable X is ulted by Yorick, but will not die. Patroy trying to catch up with everyone, getting the stuns. Muffin Cutie is very low, will fall. Now Tree Eskimo is turning the tides, slowing down. I gotta see if we can't get any more damage. When Unstoppable X actually getting poked away from Ezreal, will die. We still have a bit of an engage still going. Now we're just waiting for Choppa to get away, see if they can get away scot-free.
Oh, that's a cleanup.
Oh, that will be a little bit of a cleanup. Tree Eskimo waiting for one
Tree.
more ghoul.
Oh,
Tree, can you do it?
smoke bomb.
Smoke bomb does it. Was that
smoke bomb?
Did the bomb actually just kill him?
The smoke bomb killed him.
Smoke bomb.
I felt like
does do a little bit of damage, and it was enough. Wow. And we're actually still going in on this. Mashme trying to plug away Takashi X. Still in the bush, but the sapling won't be able to finish the job either. Klez coming in from Aframoon, trying to get Patoy through the wall. Tree Eskimo not going to be able to clean that one up, but Aframoon now trying his best to just get the range on
Mashme. Such a crazy little skirmish. It can go really bad for both teams. I felt like if Aframoon was a little bit more aggressive, he could have picked off Tarek, but it's definitely very dangerous.
Excellent. Did actually smite the blue away, but will he be able to get away with it? Ghoul coming in. 58-62. No, he will not. And Tree Eskimo will be able to get away.
That was not worth it. He got the 60 gold from blue, but he gave up about 450.
I gotta give credit to both V8 and Choppa today. They're giving us some fantastic, crazy team fights today. I'm liking this. I haven't seen anything this nuts in a while.
So this is a free dragon for V8 just because they're still hanging around. While Choppa is just way too far, so they're going to be able to get this and just back out pretty safely.
They will get the dragon convincingly, and IGOT is actually quite out of position, trying to get the steal on the dragon, but he will not be able to get away. Ulting, trying to get, no, but the Galio will keep him behind. Now Mashme is out in front of Muffin Kiwi being focused down. Patoy puts down the ult. Leona does go down. Mashme will be able to shift away, but we got some pursuit coming in, and Aframoon will be able to finish the job. Unstoppable X slivers away from death, and Gente will be able to get away. One hit away. Wow. I am enjoying these team fights so much.
Actually could have killed that because the smite from Gallo actually slowed TF, but he was just being prudent. He didn't want to dive for that kill because what would have happened is he would have killed TF, but he would have gotten twisted advanced on by Maokai under tower. So He wasn't sure if he's going to be able to get the kill and get away. So, he made the choice of, all right, I'm going to let TF get away, and I'm just going to back out. But I honestly felt like had he been a little bit more aggressive, he could have gotten away with a sliver of health, of course. But
Yeah.
he could have gotten the kill as well.
This was just a really quick series of small wins for V8. I mean, they got the Dragon, they got the 1 kill off the Maokai and the blue buff, and that last fight they won it, 1 for 2.
So you know how I was talking about like that 30-minute mark where Mundo gets unstoppable?
Yeah,
Can I take a look at his item really quick?
you can.
All right, as soon as he gets that Warmogs, which is soon, how much? Right now, he just bought it.
He
Right
just
now
got
with
it.
20 gold left. And so once he gets that Warmog stacked up, he's going to have 350 more health. It's going to put him about like 3.5, 3.7k. I'm not sure. What's his health at?
Let's see, let's take a look at Mundo. Where is that guy right there? 3, 4, 5, 7.
Yeah, he's at 3,400. He's going to hit about 350 to that. He's going to have 3,800 with a full stack Warmogs, not including the level that he's going to gain. So he's going to have a close to 4k hit point within the next 3 to 4 minutes. So when he gets to that 30-minute mark that I was talking about,
Yep.
he's going to have about 4k hit point. He's going to be able to just basically walk in the enemy team and just tank everything at that point.
He regenerates 20 health a second. That's pretty impressive, especially, his Burning Agony is only, it's maxed out 30 health a second. If he can actually get his health regen up even more, that could essentially be free, but he's doing what he does best. He's staying out in front and he's being a damage soak.
Yeah, if you look at the damage output from everybody on Choppa, they do not have the damage that they need to kill Mundo. So very, very soon, when he gets that Warmog stack up, he's just going to walk in the middle of everything and say, please hit me. And Galio can walk in too, and as soon as he's low, he can back out. He can continue and shield Mundo and get the life regen from them hitting Mundo too. So, he's shielding Mundo, making him more of a tank, and he's healing himself when he does bulwark anybody.
Yep, and if you wanted, more of the meaning behind Mundo goes where he pleases, just take a look at Unstoppable X right now. He can just go wherever he wants. He's hit that point in the game. We're hitting a 30-minute mark. He has all the items he needs to just go wherever. To be fair, though, we also we've seen Jinte buy up a little bit, got the Lich Bane and Death Cap on him, so that's a pretty hurtful combo from him if he can get that perfect destiny.
Definitely with his gold card, wild card, Lich Bane combo, he's gonna be able to output about like 1,700 damage. You throw Ignite on, if he positions himself well, he might be able to pick off Graves if Graves doesn't have his passive stack off and if Galio isn't near. But if Galio is near, Galio should be able to bulwark him and actually protect him long enough where he can get out. So it's just going to be, if TF is going to win this fight for Choppa, I feel like he needs to make a really, really good play and catch people out of position.
We did have a ward earlier in V8's jungle, so Choppa has an idea of where V8 is right now. X1 getting a sapling there just to see if they're in that bush. Patoy.
Oh, they're baiting this ward. They're waiting.
Yeah, they're waiting. They want to take that ward out from a distance, but actually teleport coming in from Tree Eskimo. They cannot get the last hit on that thing, and they wanted to make sure they had their plan set up. Buffy takes out the ward, but is in the back of the line, so we'll be taking quite a few hits from Mashme, and V8 very aggressively just wanders in, takes the blue, and gets out.
I feel like V8 can fight this. They're just poking right now, but once they get in position, and if Muffin can get a good ult, they're going all in.
Takashi X also has Flash ult up right now as well. So if Choppa comes in, Takashi X can just go in and taunt a good 2-3 members of Choppa, and they can just clean up if they really want to. Actually, even now, bot tower now going down, so V8 is continuing the aggression and getting whatever they can, wherever they can.
I think just very, very soon when Mundo gets his stack up, I mean, I think he's at like 3,700 hit point now. He's going to hit that 4K very soon.
Very soon. Very, very soon. Once he gets, all he needs is the minion kills to format that Warmogs. And, even another health item couldn't hurt, too.
Yeah.
Might as well. He can afford it. He's actually getting pretty well farmed. And after this tower, he should be able to do a little bit more shopping. But Mashme a little bit out of position, checking to see who's in that bush, sapling going down. And V8 is now trying. I think this is
Oh,
the
this is
engage
a-
they want.
this is
They're
a
waiting
very
for
good
everyone to
fight.
come in. Wait for everyone to come in to get that gallery. There's a flash ult. We got 4 members of Choppa caught in, and look at all that damage. V8 now in pursuit, focusing down Nasus. He's not going to be able to get away anytime soon. And now Maokai trying to punch the ground. That was a fantastic engage for V8 and Mashme trying to finish off Takashi, but will not be able to do
They're
it.
just gonna get the free dragon. They're just
Yep.
gonna be safe at this point.
V8 playing it safe, getting the free gold from the dragon. Could they have feasibly gotten Baron instead?
I feel like it was kind of pretty risky because Easy can poke them and they're actually pretty low. They could have. I felt like it was still dangerous because you know, Twisted Fate never used his gate,
That's
so
right,
it was still
he
up.
didn't. It is still up.
You know, he was very low, but that doesn't mean anything if his gate's up. Choppa's actually rushing it because they do see Afromu bottom, so you know, it gave him a cue. It's like, hey man, I see Afromu bottom. They cannot come here as 5 in time, so you know, they do have an advantage in terms of. Ooh.
Oh, teleport coming in from Nasus. So while all 5 members of Choppa are here grabbing the Baron, gate going down just to see where everyone is, and now V8 is here to try and finish off this
really
engage.
bad fight
This is
for
really
Choppa.
risky. Choppa is in a bad spot right now.
They
do
were able
get
to
the
pick up Baron, though.
They got the Baron, and now V8 is just going to have to try and clean them up because this is their only opportunity before they go back to base. Excellent now being caught out. Nasus, Tarek, Leona, and TF are all going down. V8 has actually convincingly won this fight at Baron despite Choppa having it.
The thing is they did lose quite a bit of hit point, and with them spamming all their skills on Baron, they had really nothing left for that fight. If you look at Mashme had no mana, and as Ezreal, if you don't have mana, you're not going to be throwing out those Mystic Shot. You're not going to be slowing anyone's attack speed. You're not going to be able to jump away.
You're not doing anything.
You're basically what Choppa basically did was they traded Baron for 4 kills and a tower. Well, Baron and a kill for 4 kills and a tower. Actually, potentially 2 towers.
Potentially the game even.
Actually, this is going to be inhib too, because the timer on them is long enough where they can take inhib and back out and reset for the next fight.
After moves, still in this fight, he is low, but you know what? He got a Guardian Angel. He's set. He's in a good spot right now, actually. And Mashme ult going down once more from Takashi X. That's just going to blow up Patoy straight out.
I felt like it would have been better if they... I felt like it could have been a good move for them to take Baron, but they killed it a little bit too slow. Because V8 was able to engage on him while Baron was still alive. You know, they were able to get the smite off, but they had lost just way too much health, burnt all their CDs and their mana. So in terms of Baron trading, I felt like V8 definitely got the better end of the deal. Just if you just calculate all the gold, you get tower, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kills. You got an hib for that, so V8 definitely came out ahead from that.
So 34 minutes in, V8 has a pretty commanding gold lead right now at 5k, and Choppa's just trying to brute force his tower down, but V8 is having none of it. Tree Eskimo leading the way, and I think Choppa's just trying to get poke wherever they can at this point. V8 is trying to dissuade them as much as they can as well. Takashi X will be going back. The blue is not up for V8. Who's got it? Who's got the blue? Who's got the blue?
I think Gallo just took it.
He did just take it. Yes, he
yeah,
did.
Gallo just took it.
So right now, Choppa's definitely on the defense. They're trying to take everything they can get. And I do have to say, though, that both teams have also been very aggressive in counter-warding. We had a very early Oracles from Maokai. Mundo did the same, and we're just trying to reduce as much vision as we can. Muffin Cutie now also taking out that ward, defensive ward from Choppa at their own blue. And now V8, they're confident enough, they have the gold lead, they're far enough ahead.
It's basically, at this point, it's V8 has to try to lose the game to lose it. I feel like they're far enough ahead that they just blew everything on Mundo, and he's going to be full hit point in about... I don't know, like 20 seconds from now.
Aftermoon should be able to get away scot-free. We did have the gate come down from TF. Muffin Cutie does fall, and there we go. There's the gate. We get the last hit on Aftermoon, but he will be revived from the Guardian Angel. Unstoppable X trying to edge out away, and Aftermoon will actually be camped out around by Choppa and is taken down. That could have gone... That is exactly what Choppa needed. to get
That's
back
exactly
into
what
this.
Choppa needed. I felt like what happened in that fight was, if you look at Mundo, they're able to. You know how I said the only time they're gonna focus Mundo is when they're able to just get free damage when he's in front.
And there it
And
was.
so that's what happened. Mundo was on the tower by himself. He was able to get hit down to less than half hit points, so he became a non-factor in that fight. He had to run away while he was regenning. And at the same time, Galio wasn't there. He was actually to the left down mid lane trying to group up with his team. So it was a really, really good engage by Choppa because they're able to take Mundo down low enough where Mundo can't effectively do anything in that team fight. And at the same time, with Mundo out and Galio too far, they're able to engage 5v3 and just take out 3 people.
Now, despite losing that team fight, V is actually still 4K in gold ahead, which is a pretty wide margin. Dragon should be respawning soon, and V8 is definitely in position to take that for free. Muffin Cutie doing the counter warding. So V8 is still in quite a commanding lead. They just cannot afford to get caught out like that again, or else they can start throwing this away.
Commanding lead, the gold advantage at this point, just 4K is really not that big. Their advantage that they have right now is they have a better late game comp. And also they have just so much more map position. They have more towers up. They have an inhib down. That means they can get free pressure in any lane that they choose to group up on. They do have teleport up on both Galio and Yorick, so they can get the split push on mid and have someone teleport in if they have that word to drop instantly if a team fight breaks out like last time. So I feel like they're trying to play a little safe with the dragon. It's not absolutely necessary. It's definitely nice to have a little bit extra gold, but right now what they can do is they can just keep on pressuring and pushing.
Choppa definitely playing on the defensive end here, and right now V8 is camping out in this one bush, seeing who they can trap here. But actually, all the members from Choppa are actually wandering over to their own red buff. And V8 is just going to hop back into lane, shove mid, and see what they can do. Tree Eskimo and Takashi X trying to pressure down Mashme here.
This could be really bad. The team's too far.
Yeah. And V8, where's the rest of you? Here you are. So we could engage on this.
Oh,
Stun going down, Mashme shifts away just in time.
This is bad for Nasus, though.
He's slowly trying to get away. Takashi X is still in the middle of everything. Excellent now in the back of V8. He's a little bit far from everybody. Unstoppable X, will he actually be able to go down? Yeah. I think he had the, did he have the ult up? Yes, he did. He still got taken out. Excellent, so very low. And Jinte taking down Graves. is actually he's got the ult up. He did all the damage he needed to. And Choppa's actually coming out really ahead here. Muffet Cutie falls and Tree Eskimo is now left to his own devices. Jeez.
I felt like V8 just wasn't using their ultimate wisely. They felt like they could have picked somebody off. Had they picked somebody off, it would have been a really good fight for them. But since they blew their ultimate on an Ezreal with, I think, cleanse, right? He did cleanse out of it, so it did really nothing to him. And the only person they really caught with the ultimate was Nasus, and you really don't want to focus a Warmog's Frozen Heart Nasus with a Negatron Cloak too. So they burnt too much energy on Nasus. And so when the full engage came on, you know, they didn't have anything left to just fight.
And you were talking earlier too about getting that damage on Mundo. Mundo did die while his ult was on.
His ult was on. Like one thing that needs to happen is when Mundo runs in to tank everything, Gallo needs to be there to throw on the bulwark. Because if Mundo is tanking...
Oh wow, did Tree Eskimo just teleport in? He teleported in to take out the inhibitor. And I think he's going to pay the price for it. But actually right now, Takashi X now split pushing the bot, trying to take down the tower. He's not going to be able to get away, though.
They're both going to die.
Yeah. Was that worth it? Was that worth the double teleport to take out the inhib?
They did take down an inhib. What that creates for V8 is gives them time for them to regroup and just take map position. Because if they're just trying to burn time on Baron buff. In terms of gold, it definitely wasn't worth it. But in terms of like buying time and positioning, they achieved what they wanted. They probably only expected Yorick to die. They thought that Galio was going to be able to get away. Had only Yorick died, it would have been a really, really good trade. But they were able to get some damage on bottom lane. So as soon as that bottom lane tower drops, V8's going to be able to just go back and fight again. And really, they just want to wait out this Baron buff and not allow them to take tower. Yeah, if tower doesn't drop or inhib drops for V8, once Baron buff runs out, they still are in the position to win this game. It just takes 1 or 2 really, really good team fights. Maybe the next team fight can win the game, actually.
Destiny going down. Just want to make sure where all members of V8 are. And Choppa's just with the Baron buff. Going to be charging down on this tower. Shirley is being popped. Aframu being focused. Does cleanse away. He still has the Guardian Angel up as well. Takashi X gets the flash ultimate in, but is canceled away. Excellent being focused down. Will not just can't die. Will not die. And once again, Mundo falls with the ultimate on. And I think Choppa might be able to just take game here.
They can take the game here. They needed to let that inhib drop and just let Aframu heal back up, because Aframu was not a part of that fight. He got twisted advance on, Taric flash, and try and stun him. So,
right now, Aframu is ghosted, but he did have the Guardian Angel, so I'm not sure how good that goal is going to be. And right now, Mashmi just goes ahead and takes out the rest of the team, and that's it. That's all she wrote. So game 1.
I'm very surprised, because it was easily V8's game to win, and
it was.
They actually have to mess up to lose that game. Had they just been prudent and just pushed slowly and grouped up, they would have won.